Hari Om. Welcome to CocoYoga, and this is my offering. So thank you for being here. I have students that have practiced with me before. They're here, we're meeting. This is our social way of meeting, practicing together. I have some students that have shared this link with other students so that we can continue sharing the goods. It's helpful when we share, so we want to make sure that we are trying to pass along, to contribute one way or the other. I thank you for your contributions. Any contribution is helpful, either from a low amount or pretty high amount. That's how you know. And if you have a lot of money, contribute a lot. If you have very little, contribute very little. If you don't have anything, just contribute with your thoughts, share with friends, but just make sure that you are part of the change, that you are making this happen. Without you, this will not be happening. Without me, this will not be happening. So we are interconnected. So thank you for coming to class. Let's begin our practice. So we have Cisa today. She's going to be helping us. So take a moment just to sit down, stay on a sitting position, and then relax your hands on top of your knees, on top of your thighs. Start to identify now what is the present condition, what is the now. We want to come to the now because in the now is the only time that we can experience the truth. Not in the past, not in the future, but in the now. So how do we come to the now? We come to the now by sensing right now the breathing, because the breathing is happening in the now. So relax your tongue, relax your lips, relax the skin of your face, relax your portals, and now shift your attention to breathing. And start to feel your inhales and your exhales. Long, steady, smooth inhale, long, steady, smooth exhales. And you're going to narrow the back of the throat so that we can calibrate the inflow and the outflow of prana. We want to pay attention to prana because prana is the life force. Prana is what animates. And through prana, we can learn how to generate energy. Through prana, we learn how to organize that energy. And we also learn how to destroy energy. Yes, creation requires elimination. So with every inhale, you can generate energy, holding the breath or retention of the breath. You can organize that energy. And with the exhale, you can destroy energy. So you, in essence, can become or can practice being a GOD, generator, organizer, and destroyer of energy. So bring your palms together in front of your heart and sensing that oneness, that gesture of oneness, one verse, universe, your universe. Bow your head towards your heart and then create coherence between the electricity in your brain with the magnetism of your heart. So there are two forms of energy. So bring coherence into them and let's shift ourselves into a complete new direction, new format of experience and perception. Whenever you're ready, lift up your chin, open your eyes, rock yourself forward, and then come up to your hands and knees. As you come forward into your hands and knees, you look at your hands and make sure that your hands are open. They are expressing. Your knees hip distance apart. Now keep your shoulders aligning with your elbows. Keep your wrist aligning with your wrist. And then move the knees a couple of inches behind your hip joints. Then roll your toes under. Now move the sitting bones towards your heels. Keep your forearms active, lifting upward. And now lift up the knees, that's right. And then straighten the knees, lift up the heels. Heels high up, pelvis high up. And then slowly flex the right knee and reach with the left heel towards the ground. And as you look at the left foot, open your toes on the left foot. So lift up your toes, open them up. And now lift up both heels up, straighten both knees. Lift up the sitting bones maximally. And now let's switch. Flex the left, reach with the right heel downward. Look at the right foot, open your toes, reach with the heel downward and feel that your toes are opening up. Let's do it again. Lift up the heels up. So we want to know where up is. And now let's switch again. Bend the right, reach with the left. Listen to the breath, linking radial movement. And inhale, lift up, high up. And now flex the left, reach with the right. Feel the inhales, feel the exhales. Inhale, lift up, straighten both knees, sitting bones up. And one more time. Flex the right, reach with the left heel down. And lift up again, maximally. And now switch. Flex the left, reach with the right heel down. And inhale, lift up, both heels up. And now both heels back and down. I want you to bring your forearms towards each other. And feel that by bringing your forearms towards each other, you're creating an outward rotation of your arms. So identify the outward rotation of your arms. Come to plank so we can identify the outward rotation. So feel your forearms moving towards each other. Your hands are planted clearly on earth. So the palms, your hands are planting, and then your forearms are moving towards each other. The collarbones open, down, don't lose what you gain, and go back to downward dog, finding resistance in your arms. Now, reach with both heels down. Good. And now let's do an inward rotation of your thighs. So move the inner knees towards the back. Separate your sitting bones so we can create a nutation. The frontal hip bones towards each other. The sitting bones separating. The inner knees moving to the back, that's creating an inward rotation on your thighs. Maintain that inward rotation on your thighs and come to plank and find resistance in your legs. Now bring the resistance in your arms and go back to downward dog. Yes, there is resistance in our population right now. Feel the resistance, your resistance. Create resistance in your legs and come to plank. And feel the resistance in the legs. So create resistance without aggression. And go back to downward dog. Resistance in your arms without aggression. So we can practice ahimsa. And let's do it one more time. Come to plank and find resistance in your legs. Feel the resistance. Go back to downward dog and find the resistance in your arms. Now with an inhale, lift up the right leg up towards the ceiling, the left heel to the ground, and use the exhale and plant now that right foot in between your hands. With an inhale, pressing down, inhale, swing your arms up to the north, find resistance in the air, and with an exhale, hands to the ground, shoulder distance apart, you plant your hands in the ground. With an inhale, bring the right foot back with resistance, and then forward and all the way down. Let's go all the way down. Keep the head of the arms lifted. Good. Elbows pointing towards your heels. And with an inhale, forward and up to, that's right, Bhujangasana. Roll your toes and lift up the downward dog with resistance in your arms. Inhale, lift up the left leg up. The right heel resists that action. And with an exhale, bring in resistance. Bring the left foot forward. Press the ground. With an inhale, swing your arms as if there is resistance in the air, as if you are underwater. And exhale, plant your hands in the ground, shoulder distance apart. With an inhale, bring the left foot back, find resistance, and then go and all the way down, resistance, head of the arms lifted, elbows pointing to the back, point with your toes to the back. Inhale, Bhujangasana, roll your toes and lift up to downward dog. With an inhale, lift up the right leg up, the left heel down, resistance with the left. Exhale, right foot forward, all the way in between the hand, resistance on the left. Pressing the right, inhale, swing your arms up to the north. Feel the rotation of the shoulder blades, beauty. And exhale, hands to the ground. Plant your hands on earth. Inhale, right foot back, in line with the right hand. Forward and all the way down. Find the resistance in the shoulders. There we go. Forward and up, move the breastbone up, roll your toes and lift up to downward dog. With an inhale, lift up, the left leg up, find resistance in the right. Exhale, bring the left foot forward, find the resistance on the right still. Inhale, swing your arms, find the resistance on the pelvis as you lift up the torso. And with an exhale, hands to the ground, and you plant your hands on earth. Inhale, bring the left foot back in line with the left hand, forward and halfway down. Find resistance in the shoulders. Don't let them collapse. All the way. Point with the toes. Inhale, forward and up. Find the resistance. Identify the resistance. Roll your toes and go back to downward dog. One more of those. Inhale, right leg up. Find resistance on the left. Exhale, bring the right foot forward. Find resistance on the left leg. Inhale, find the resistance of the pelvis. And exhale, hands to the ground, and you plant your hands equally in the ground. With an inhale, bring the right foot back. Find resistance on your arms, forward and all the way down. Keep the head of the arms lifted. Beauty. Forward and up, Bhujangasana. Then roll your toes and lift up to downward dog. Inhale, lift up the left leg up. The right leg finds resistance. Exhale, left foot forward, right leg in resistance. Inhale, swing your arms up, high up. And exhale, hands to the ground, plant them equally in the ground. Left foot back, in line with the left hand, forward and all the way down. Keep the head of the arms lifted. Nice, Caesar. Inhale, forward and up. And then roll your toes and go back to downward dog. So we find ourselves in downward dog, understanding about how to create resistance in downward dog. So you want to create resistance by moving in two directions at the same time. The legs are moving towards the back. They are moving the pelvis towards the back. The arms are moving forward. So you feel your arms moving forward and up. The legs are moving back and up. So we are creating resistance. There is a lot of resistance right now because we don't want to go back to the normal. We don't want to go back to the normal because it doesn't exist anymore. So we need to create the resistance to change the new, to change the way we act. So do it now. Do it in the poses. Start to identify the resistance. Create a resistance without aggression. We have to maintain ahimsa. We want to maintain and sense that with love, with kindness, we can change the world. We're not going to change the world with aggression. We're going to change it with a passive resistance, being a pacifist. So feel the breath. Come to plank and feel your plank. Find the resistance in your plank. And now outer edge of the right foot to the ground, left foot on top. And with an inhale, lift up the left arm up. Now I want you to feel the left hand lifting up to the north. So sense where the north is. And sense where the south is. Now, I want you to feel, where do you feel the resistance in the body? Can you listen to the inhales? Can you listen to the exhales? Can you bring the inhale with resistance? Can you bring the exhale with resistance? One more, open your heart and slow. Hand to the ground and let's go back to downward dog. With an inhale, come to plank and find resistance in your legs as you come to plank. Outer edge of the left foot to the ground, right foot on top of the left, pressing your left hand down, you lift up the right hand up, and you feel how to create resistance. The resistance is there, so make sure that you feel the resistance of the inhale with the exhale. Can you feel right now effort and relaxation? There is resistance on that. Not all the poses is about effort. It's not all about relaxation. It's about resistance. It's about how can you resist your desire to go and break the world. No, we want to make sure that we do it carefully and slow. Hand to the ground and go back to downward dog. Because we are shifting. We are shifting. There is a shift that's happening right now. So we need to shift ourselves into a completely new form. Into a new form of experience, into a new form of perception, so that you can become what you believe. Yes, I believe that we are going to change. Change is the only constant. So, can you make it happen? Can you make it happen right now? With an inhale, lift up the right leg up towards the ceiling with resistance on the left. And with an exhale, bring the right foot forward with resistance on the left. With an inhale, lift your arms over your head. And now with an exhale, move your arms in front of the shoulders. Good. Bring that left elbow underneath the right elbow. Press your palms against each other by flexing your elbows. And now press the right hand against the left hand and find the resistance. Press the left hand against the right hand and find the resistance. What are you resisting within you? Can you feel the inhales? Can you feel the exhales? Can you move the right knee forward? Can you move the left heel to the back? Can you feel the resistance? Can you let go of your unnecessary tension in the face? Release your hands, swing your arms up with resistance as if you are in air. And exhale, hands to the ground as if you are in water. Inhale, bring the right foot back. And now, Chaturanga Dandasana with resistance. Forward and up, beauty, with resistance. Now, upward dog. And go back to downward dog with resistance. Inhale, left leg up, right heel down. And with an exhale, bring that left foot forward, finding resistance on the right. Inhale, pressing down. You resist the temptation of lifting up the pelvis. And then move your arms forward in front of the shoulders. Bring the right elbow underneath. Flex your elbows. Press your palms against each other. And now, identify resistance. The right hand wants to go to the left, but the left is going to find resistance. The left hand wants to go to the right, but the right is going to find resistance. The left knee is moving to the front, but the right heel is going to find resistance. The right leg, move the right heel to the back and find the resistance. By creating that resistance, you're going to create the dissolution of opposites, and that's what we want. We don't want to turn like them. We want to be the new you, the new form. Release your hands. With an inhale, swing your arms over your head. And with an exhale, hands to the ground with resistance. With an inhale, bring the left foot back with resistance. And forward and halfway down with resistance. Really, forward and up, upward dog. And go back to downward dog. So we are now identifying how to connect with our unique exceptionalism, because the one that is resisting is yourself. Go with the change, go with the flow, follow the inside, so that we can go from an ordinary life towards an extraordinary life. And we're going to go to that extraordinary life if we learn where is the resistance. Because you are already a divine being. So all you need to do is to let go of the resistance and express yourself fully the way you are. With an inhale, lift up the right leg up towards the ceiling. With an exhale, bring the right foot forward all the way between the hands. With an inhale, swing your arms up to the north. You can take off your t-shirt. And with an exhale, hands to the ground. With an inhale, bring the right foot back. And with an exhale, forward and halfway down with resistance. Beauty. Forward and up with resistance. And go back to downward dog, resisting with your arms. Inhale, left leg up towards the ceiling. Right leg resisting. Exhale, left foot forward all the way in between the hand. Pressing the ground. Lift the torso back. Find resistance in the pelvis. And with an exhale, hands to the ground. With an inhale, bring that left foot back, but find resistance in your arms. Maintain that resistance forward and halfway down. Resistance in your abdomen. Inhale, forward and up. Now feel the resistance in your chest and go back to downward dog. Inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling. Resistance on the left. And exhale, right foot forward all the way between the hands. With an inhale, lift up to high lunge. And now with resistance, go to warrior two. Good. You can move to the side. So feel the warrior two and move your hands to your hips. 1 second. Now, I want you to feel, keep your hands on your hips and be vertical. Now, maintain your awareness into the inhales and the exhales, because now we're going to feel what happens when we resist. That's right. How to create the dissolution of opposites. Now, keep your hands on your hips. You're going to bend the right knee until the right knee is on top of the right ankle joint. But I want you to go and shift your attention to the left foot. As you're bending the right knee forward, I want you to feel as if you are dragging that left foot towards the right foot. So you're going to try to drag, pressing down against the earth, and you're going to try to slide the left foot towards the right heel. But now, try to drag the right heel towards the left foot. So feel both feet moving towards each other, pelvis balance, and then open up your arms shoulder level. So you feel your arms shoulder level, you are paying attention to the sensations of the now, and then rotating the right palm with resistance. Inhale, let's do reverse. High up, moving that right bicep alongside the right ear, and then exhale, hands to the ground, shoulder distance apart. With an inhale, bring the right foot back, finding resistance, forward and halfway down, finding resistance on the abdomen. Inhale, forward and up, opening up the heart, and go back to downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left leg up towards the ceiling, resistance on the right. Exhale, left foot forward, all the way between the hand. With an inhale, lift up to high lunge, and with an exhale, resistance, and you go to warrior two. You stay there, move your hands to your hips, and then you pay attention to your resistance. What are you resisting? If there is a change in life, if there is this newness, are you resisting? Are you resisting and trying to hold on to the norm, to the normal? Go, let go of the resistance. Pay attention how to work with resistance. Stay alert. Now again, I want you to keep the left knee moving forward, and I want you to move the left foot back. The left knee forward, the left foot back towards the right foot, and the right foot try to drag it. Press it down and feel as if you're sliding so that you can feel the dissolution of the opposite. Now open up your arm, shoulder level, so you feel what's going on in the now. You stay alert. With the inhale, you stay alert. With the exhales, and now slowly rotating the left palm with resistance. Lift up the left hand, move the left bicep alongside the left ear, and slow. Hands to the ground, shoulder distance apart. With an inhale, resistance, bringing the left foot back, and with an exhale, forward and halfway down. Then forward and up, finding resistance, bringing the back bend, and then go back to downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You're sensing right now how to bring the dissolution of the opposites. So if you go in two directions at the same time, you're going to be exposing the center, the best of you, so that you can create a resistance. We are working, and my understanding, what's happening right now, primarily in America, is that we want a change. We want to change. We want to be the ones that are going to tell the world how to do it. And right now, we're not doing it properly, because our values are in the wrong way. All the freaky people makes the beauty of the world. All the colors. We are born just loving one another. We have been taught how to choose, how to be biased. But in reality, our essence is unbiased. We are all divine beings. With an inhale, lift up the right leg up towards the ceiling. And with an exhale, bring the right foot forward, all the way between the hands. Finding resistance, inhale, lift up. So you feel the resistance in your arms to lift up, and down again, warrior two. We feel the warrior two. Maintain the resistance in your legs. With an inhale, let's do reverse. And with an exhale, bring that right forearm on your right thigh. You're going to press your right forearm down so the right collarbone is open. Move the left hand to the left hip joint. Lift up the left hip joint up to the north. The left shoulder joint up to the north. And then, with an inhale, swing that left arm alongside the left ear. Now, we're going to pay attention to the resistance. So feel that right forearm pressing against the right thigh, finding resistance. Keep the right collarbone open, beauty, and now feel that left hand moving far away from the left foot. So can you feel the dissolution of the opposites. The left hand is moving in one direction, the left foot is moving in another direction, and I want you to do a back bend. Feel the back bend. You are back bending. You're creating more opposite actions, and slow. Hands to the ground, shoulder distance apart. With an inhale, bring the right foot back. With an exhale, forward and down with resistance. With an inhale, forward and up, opening up the heart. And then go back to the dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left leg up, right heel resisting. Exhale, left foot forward, planting it. Inhale, lift up to the north. Exhale with grace to warrior two. Find the resistance. Inhale, let's do reverse. All the way. And exhale, bring the left forearm on your left thigh. With your left hand facing you up. Keep that left collarbone open so you find resistance. And then with an inhale, swing now that right arm alongside the right ear. And keeping the right arm in an outward rotation. The right leg straight. Feeling the inhales, feeling the exhales, sensing what's happening right now. Keeping that left elbow just pressing down against the left thigh. The right elbow totally straightened. You feel that right thigh lifting up. You feel the resistance. You're resisting right now. You're working with gravity. You sense collarbone open. Now let's do a little bit of a back bend. Feel that you're going to the back bend so that you feel the resistance of when you go to the back bend. You want to work with the resistance, not against it. You want to sense it. How can you create the resistance? And slow, hands to the ground. With an inhale, bring the left foot back with resistance, and then forward and halfway down, then forward and up. Find the resistance, open the heart, and go back to downward dog. So we feel how to create the resistance, right? So that's my understanding. Yoga teaches us that when there is a movement in one direction, there is another movement in another direction. That's when my teacher, Matthias Ratti and Chuck Miller taught me how to create the rebound effect. If you go in one direction, there is another energy going in an opposite direction. So can you pay attention in how to work with resistance? And observe, what are you resisting? Are you resisting collaboration? Are you resisting cooperation? Are you resisting coordination? We have to be coordinated when we do the poses. So we need to coordinate primarily the inhale and the exhale. Without the breathing, there is no yoga. So pay attention, sense it. You know where there is also resistance? Between the sthira and the sukha, between firmness and happiness. In the poses, with an inhale, lift up the right leg up towards the ceiling. With an exhale, bring the right foot forward, all the way between the hands. With an inhale, lift up to high lunge. And with an exhale, let's go to warrior two. Good. Now let's go a little deeper. With an inhale, lift up the right hand up. And with an exhale, this time the right hand on the outside of the right foot. Move the left hand to the left hip joint. Lift up the left hip joint up to the north. The left shoulder joint up to the north. And then swing that arm. Now, what are you resisting? That's right. Can you feel? Can you resist your instinct just to come and become aggressive? Because that's not the real you. That's something that you've been nurturing, but that's not your nature. So let's do a little bit of a back bend. Feel the back bend. What are you resisting? Now press the outer right knee against the bicep and feel the resistance. Feel where is the resistance. Back bend a little bit more and slow. Left hand to the ground. Inhale, right foot back. Then go forward and halfway down. Then go forward and up. What are you resisting? And go back to the dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left leg up, right heel down. creating the resistance. Exhale, left foot forward, plant them. Inhale, lift up, and with resistance, warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. With an inhale, reverse. And with an exhale, move this time the left hand to the outside of the left foot. Right hand to the right hip joint, lifting up the right hip joint to the north, and then inhale, swing the right arm alongside the right ear, maintaining alignment, looking underneath that right armpit. That's right, so you sense, you feel the resistance. You look at the inhale, you look at the exhale, you stay and you feel that alignment that Sisa is making. So the body is making the action. Yes, the body is resisting to do the action because the body is primarily in tamas. The mind is in rajas. So to bring the mind into the now, the mind will resist. So now we're going to bring that left sitting bone underneath the body, the right hip joint on top, the right shoulder joint on top, and we're going to do now a back bend. So feel that back bend, identify the outer rotation of your arm, feel the right leg active. Now find the resistance when you press the outer left knee against the bicep, back bend, feel that resistance, and slow. Right hand to the ground, bring the right foot back to plank, and then forward and halfway down and resist with your abdomen and your chest. Forward and up. Now open the abdomen, open up the chest, and go back to Dhanurudra Dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So we are then understanding, we're practicing how to work with resistance. So how to use it? Adrenaline is really good for us. Once you are really in a dire situation, in danger. But if not, then you don't want to use it because it brings with it cortisol, and they are not so good for us unless you are really ready to run away from a racist policeman. Yeah, so then you're going to need to use your adrenaline. But if not all policemen are racist. Yeah. So it's about understanding how to discriminate, to create something that the yogis call viveka, discernment. How can you discern the resistance? So pay attention to it. With an inhale, lift on the right leg up towards the ceiling. And with an exhale, bring the right foot forward, all the way between your hands. Now we're going to pivot on the ball of the left foot, left heel to the ground. You're going to straighten out the right leg, and you're going to walk with your hands towards the center in between both legs. You're going to pivot the right foot, and you stay there. Now flatten your back and look forward. Good, stay there, and feel right now the same principle that we've been working on. I want you to use your legs to push back and move your arms forward. So your arms are going to move the torso forward, your legs are going to move to the back. So you sense that action, you feel the inhale and the exhale, you stay alert about the resistance. But now let's do differently. Keep the legs where you have them and move your arms forward to downward dog. So you're going to be doing a downward dog with your hands, with your torso, and you're doing prasadita, Padottanasana on your legs. Now, working with the resistance, try to drag the right foot towards the left foot towards the right foot, and feel the resistance. Where is the resistance? Can you identify muscles that are resisting? Can you identify tendons that are resistant? Can you identify ligaments that are resistant? Can you identify the resistance? Yes, we want to learn how to work with it because it's time to change. And if you want to change, you better start to change the way you think. So stay alert, gather information about it. Now slowly, keep the right hand where it is and move the left hand underneath the body and grab the outside of that right calf. Now, can you rotate the torso to the right, but can you find resistance on the pelvis? So you're going to move the left hip joint a little bit higher than the right hip joint, as you're moving the left shoulder joint underneath, the right shoulder joint on the top, and release your left hand forward. Keep your left hand solid. Outward rotation of your arms, inward rotation of your thighs, and now move the right hand underneath the body, and with your right hand you're going to grab the outside of the left hip joint. Now you're going to use your hands, you're going to use the breath with the exhale. You rotate the torso to the left, but at the same time find resistance with the right. So the right hip joint is going to lift up more actively than the left, because the left shoulder is on top, the right shoulder is down. So we are creating resistance. We're creating two movements at the same time. And release your right hand. Now walk with your hands back. Flatten your back, look forward. Move your hands to your hips, and with resistance, lift all the way up slowly. Now open up your arms to the sides. Feel your hands separating. Feel your spinal column elongating. Stay alert. And now inhale, lift up your arms over your head. And with an exhale, you're going to move your hands with your fingertips. You're going to grab the outer arches of your feet. You're going to move your fingers underneath the outer arches of your feet so that you can pay attention to the resistance. So pull with your hands, push with your feet. Can you feel that the two actions, the dissolution of the opposites? As you're creating that action, feel your quads lifting, feel the inward rotation of your thighs, inner knees more actively, and now lift the shoulder blades up. Feel the breath, sitting bones separating. Listen to the inhales, listen to the exhales, and now relax your head. And feel right now the essence of stability and foundation. Sthira Sukham Asana, Sutra 2.46. The poses need to be compact, but also you need to be joyful in it. So there is a resistance there. There is a dissolution. 2 more rounds of breath there. So sense the inhale, sense the exhale. Stay alert, gather information to see what's real, to see what's not. We don't know what's going on. Inhale, look forward. Exhale there. Move your hands to your hips. And with an inhale, find the resistance. Lift all the way up. Good. Now bring heels, toes towards each other. Good. Nice. And come to the front of your mat. Bring your palms together. Samastiti. Looking for the sama. Looking for that even mindedness. Looking for the balance between the right and the left. How can you resist the right to be the dominant side? How can you resist the front as being the dominant side? How can you resist not to go and just destroy property? Yes, that's what we would like to do, but that's not the solution. The solution is, can you contribute from within you? Can you sense? How can you contribute to the outside without using aggression? Inhale, lift your arms over your head without aggression, with resistance without aggression. And exhale down to earth with resistance without aggression. Inhale halfway up with resistance without aggression. Right foot back with resistance. Left foot back and go to downward dog. So you come to downward dog. So you feel the inhales, you feel the exhales, you stay alert, and we look for the dissolution of opposites. Sense it. Now bring your knees together in the ground. Good. Steady. And now we're going to cross the right leg in front of the left leg. You're going to move the right knee in front of the left knee. You're going to move the left foot to the right side of your mat, the right foot to the left, and then slowly walk with your hands back until you sit in between your heels. And we're going to look for the opposites. So bring the right leg squeezing towards the left leg and feel the left leg squeezing towards the right leg. So you're creating two actions. Going to the center, because we are interested in the center. Now with an inhale, lift up the left arm over your head to the north. Remember the outer rotation over your head? Over your head, the outer rotation of the arms feel like an inner rotation. Now open up the right arm shoulder level. Keep that right collarbone open. Maintain the outer rotation of your right arm. But now flex the right elbow. Move that right hand high up in between the shoulder blade. Then flex the left elbow and clasp the fingers. Now the left elbow is going to be pointing up to the north, the right elbow to the south. So there is resistance if you go in two directions at the same time. Now try to separate your hands, but your fingers will not allow it because there is resistance. Your job is to identify the resistance. With an inhale, move your breastbone up, and with an exhale, go forward and down and find the resistance. The right elbow is pointing to the back, the left elbow is pointing to the front. Take a good grip with your fingers. Try to separate your hands, but your fingers will not allow it, and identify the resistance. So feel the inhale, feel the exhale, stay alert, gather information about what's real, about what's not. So learn how to discern. Protest is real. Aggression doesn't have to be. You don't have to be more aggressive than the policeman, than the government. You just need to teach them how to do it differently. And gently lift up, all the way up, and release your hands. Feel how it feels. Stay alert. Now we're going to move both hands to the left side. You're going to lean again, your left hand. You're going to lift up the buttocks. You're going to pivot on your feet. You're going to crawl with your hands to the back, hands to the right side, hands to the front side, and then you find yourself resisting getting the pose. Some of you might be facing another direction, but it doesn't matter as long as you come and you do the opposite, because resistance is to learn how to work with the opposites, how to work with what your instinct is going to tell you to do, or your reaction more than your instinct. Feel the right leg and the left leg squeezing towards each other, and now with an inhale, lift up the right arm, slow motion with resistance, outer rotation of the right arm. Open up the left arm shoulder level, outer rotation of the left arm, then flex the elbow, which is pronation of the forearm, then flex that left elbow, move the left hand high up in between the shoulder blades, then flex the right elbow and clasp the fingers and find resistance. Right elbow to the north, left elbow to the south. You feel that action activating your biceps to elongate the triceps. So if you engage the bicep, the tricep is forced to elongate. Sense it. Now try to separate your hands, find resistance in your fingers, and with an inhale, lead with your breastbone up, and with an exhale, forward and down, creating resistance. So you want to identify how to create, how to be a creator, how to generate energy, how to organize energy, and how to destroy energy. Creation requires elimination. So to become, in a way, to break ahimsa is not that smart. If Gandhi did it, if Martin Luther King did it, we can do it. We might end up shot like both of them, but we will change the world. So change the world. It's waiting. The world is waiting for you to change. So learn how to generate. Learn how to be generous. What do you want to generate? Yes, goodness, kindness, love. Yes, being just open. And gently inhale, leading with your heart, lift up, unwind. Release your arms, straighten the right leg forward, straighten the left leg forward. Now let's create help with your hands. to create an inward rotation of your thigh. So you're going to grab your thighs, you're going to create inward rotation of your thighs, which is going to separate your sitting bones. Now that you know where your sitting bones are, press your sitting bones down, downward with your sitting bones, and up with your hands. So you feel the resistance. Where is the resistance? Now, I want you to lift up the shoulders up towards your ears, high up, maximally, feeling the resistance. And with an exhale, come forward, 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 and down. Feel now the resistance between your arms and your legs. Listen to the inhales, listen to the exhales. Engage your quads, lifting up your kneecaps, moving that right sitting bone and the left sitting bone to the back. And then we go forward and down. You go forward and down, and you feel right now, where is the resistance? Relax the resistance in your jaw, in your neck, in your temples. Now pay attention to your inhales, pay attention to your exhales. Stay alert. Good. 2 more rounds of breath. Sense it. Feel, where are your resistance? One more. And inhale, look forward, and gently lift up. Now move your hands behind your hip joints. Let's go this way. Hands behind your hip joints. Point with your fingers towards your heels. Toes pointing forward. And then maintaining resistance. Press the ground with your hands. Lift up the pelvis. Chin to the back. And now move the pelvis forward. Pelvis up and forward. So you're going to use your toes to help you. Move the chin far back and find the resistance. Find the inhales, find your exhales. That's even better. Open the heart. Feel what the heart is. Can you feel the chambers of your heart? Can you feel the chambers of your heart? Can you feel the magnetism in your heart? And gently release. Good. The mat came in. Good. Steady. Now bend the knees, cross the shins, rock yourself forward, and come to downward dog. So you're coming to your downward dog. You feel your downward dog. Sensing the resistance. Identifying what are the emotions that you're feeling right now. So you have the ability to feel elevated emotions, and you have the ability to feel survival emotions like pain, loss. Yes, those lower frequencies of emotions like guilt, shame, suffering, victimization. Yes, we're using it a lot. And we're taking advantage of that victimization to bring aggression. So don't do it. You can change that scale of emotions and you can start to lift it to another type of frequency of emotions, greater energy. So you can start to feel a little more control, power, will, appreciation, gratitude, so that we can go to the elevated emotions of joy, love, freedom, bliss, wholeness. Yes, so that you can make a substantial change. Bring your knees to the ground and let's go to child's pose. You go to child's pose, you keep your arms alongside your body, and you learn how to dissolve, how to relax, how to let go of the resistance. So pay attention to the resistance. We want to learn how to cooperate, how to coordinate, how to collaborate. Yes, how to collaborate with the resistance, not in an aggression way, not to harm other beings, not to harm anybody. You don't want to harm the government. Change the government. Don't harm it, change it. Now I want you to visualize yourself upside down. Feel the upside down. Visualize yourself upside down. And now move the knees, Move your hands alongside your knees, lift up the torso. Good. And I'm going to do the headstand since Sisa is right now not perfect for doing that. But I want you to sense how to do the headstand with resistance. So I'm going to bring my forearms in the ground and I'm going to sense the right forearm, the left forearm pressing down, my wrist pressing down, my inner elbows pressing in and down. I'm going to bring the crown of the head on the ground, roll my toes, lift up the knees, and I'm going to walk slowly. Keeping the knees together, I'm going to lift up gently with resistance. I'm going to feel the resistance. I create the resistance. I sense the inhale, I sense the exhale, I open up my shoulder blades, I activate my biceps, I open up my toes, and activate my quadriceps. Sense the inhale, sense the exhale, and stay alert about where is the resistance. Can you learn how to work with energy, how to work with tension, how to work with emotions, how to use the breath to control emotions, how to use the breath to control your thoughts. Otherwise, your thoughts are going to take you only to the known. If you rely only on your thoughts are going to take you to what you have been trained to think. And what we want to do right now is understand that it's a new realm. It's a new world. It's a new paradigm. You are making it happen right at this very moment. That right now, in the present, you are making a new world. So, can you change? Can you connect with your unique exceptionalism and share it? Because sharing is the key. When I see young kids, little kids, playing in a playground, that was before, they love to share. So share. Contribute to the outside world. Be the change that you want to see. We're here for 6 more rounds of breath. So feel the resistance. Observe the resistance in your head. Observe the resistance in your heart. If there is resistance in your heart, are you holding onto an emotion in your heart? Are you going to those greater densities of frequencies, slower frequencies? Yes, survival emotions. 2 more rounds of breath. Sense it. Be clear about it. And now gently, with resistance, calm down. Calm down and go to child's pose. And feel your child's pose. And identify the earth. Identify the density of the earth. Identify right now what is real. The strength. Yes, resiliency on the earth. Can you feel right now the water within you? Flexibility. Yes, you can taste the body fluids. You can bring your awareness of the water in your mouth. Can you feel right now the fire? Can you feel right now the heat? Can you feel that vision? Fire is vision. That's right. It's vitality. Can you feel right now the air? Yes, the air is mobile. It's the ambience. It's clarity, it's dynamic, it's subtle, it's fine. Can you feel now the space? Can you listen to the sound? That's what the space is. You can capture it with the sound. Freedom. Ever present. Vibrations. Pay attention to it. Now slowly move your arms forward. Come up to your hands and knees. Roll your toes and lift out to downward dog. Feel your downward dog and find the resistance. Stay alert. Relax your head. That's right. And now slowly inhale, come to plank. And with an exhale, go all the way down to earth. Now Flip your body over. Stay alert. Now keep your feet in the ground, reach with your fingertips and try to touch the back of your heels. Make sure that your feet are solid, they are resilient, they are sensing the earth. Now move your hands alongside your ears and bring that awareness into your hands. Feel the density, the heaviness of the ground with the softness of your hands. Elbows pointing up to the north, knees pointing to the north. With an inhale, lift up the pelvis. Exhale and feel the ground. With an inhale, press with your hands and come to the crown of the head. Exhale, stay there. Elbows in, knees in. Take a deep inhale, exhale and lift all the way up. That's right. That's right. It is the pose of all the colors. It's the rainbow. So we want to feel that rainbow. So in that rainbow, what I want you to do is to move your torso in one direction and your pelvis to the opposite direction. Now straighten the knees, straighten the knees, straighten the knees, more than that. Feel your chest opening up, straighten the knees, more than that. Straighten your elbows, heels down, open your toes. Fire up your quads to straighten up, fire up the quads, steady, straighten the knees. One more, there we go. And tucking the chin and land directly to the shoulder blades. That's a good one. That's a good one. Feel it. Stay alert. Gather information. Because this moment will never come back. Yes, this class is a today class. It's up to date. Yes, we'll leave it for maybe 24 hours, a little bit more, but it will never come back. So can you take full advantage of it? And don't forget to contribute. Because your contribution is what maintains the classes. Your contribution is the one that is going to change the world. So pay attention to it. Now slowly lift up the right foot, move the right foot on top of the left knee, and allow both knees to fall to the right as you look to the left. Create that action, sense it, feel the resistance. Because perhaps right now, as you're doing that twist, you're going to feel resistance in your QL, the quadratus lumborum, a muscle that protects your lower back. And that guy, when we do this twist, finds resistance. Can you let go of the resistance? Feel it. Let go. And gently lift up. Release the right foot. Bring the left knee, the left foot on top of that right knee. Allow both knees to go to the left side. And now you're going to feel the QL, the quadratus lumborum. Yes, it's around your lumborum. And it's a muscle that is like square. That's why they call it quadratus, like square. So feel the breath, stay alert. Listen to the inhales, listen to the exhales, and observe the resistance. We want to create a resistance. The entire country is resisting to go to the old. Yes, there are some groups that they do not want to change. But the majority wants to change because we're understanding that we need to change, and change is the only constant. Release completely and gently lift up. Good. Release the left foot. Bring both knees to your forehead, forehead to the knees. Rock yourself back and forth a few times and come up to a seated position. Come up to a seated position, cross your legs, relax your hands. Feel how it feels. Stay alert. Identify how it feels right now. So yes, we're trying to open up the body. We're trying to open up the breath. We're trying to open up the mind so that we can control the emotions. Joy, excitement, surprise, sadness, anger, disgust, contempt, fear, shame, guilt. We want to learn how to use yoga to bring us to a sattvic mind so that we can relinquish the ego and the forgetfulness, pride, anger, and possessiveness, so that we can be unselfish and peaceful within, so that we can adapt to oneness and the self. Bring your palms together in front of your heart, sensing the right and the left touching, and bow your head towards the innermost. Lift up your chin, open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for your contribution. We continue.